Do you have any creative projects you're working on right now? Oh, what about you? Any projects you're working on? It's chaos right now. Hello. My name is Grace, and I'm writing a book. But not today. The last video I made, I did a 5 a.m. writing routine, and it was an attempt to get me into the habit of writing. I think it worked, but lately I've been not really wanting to focus on my book. It's sitting at a few chapters. I don't remember how many words exactly. I should really do better at keeping up with that sort of thing. I've been getting a lot of ideas for short stories, actually. So I thought I would follow that mood instead of trying to force myself to write more of my book. I've never written a short story to completion. I've read a lot of short story collections this year. I've read a few and I've listened to the audiobooks of some, and I've just been getting more and more into them. I just really want to try my hand at it. I have a lot of ideas floating around. I've been sort of trying to keep like a commonplace book. I've been writing down whatever idea pops into my head, no matter how silly or ridiculous it sounds, because I feel like you never know how that can just turn into something really great. The problem is, I don't know which one I want to write. About a week ago, I started one of them, and then I didn't know where else to go with it. So then I started another one, and I didn't know where else to go with it. So I don't know which one I want to continue or if there's another idea I want to start with. I also don't know if I want to submit these anywhere. There's a few contests that I have looked into and I've considered submitting something. The contests aren't really that important to me. Obviously, it would be nice to win one, but it's more of a question on if I want to put myself out there and submit it at all. I've never submitted my own work. The only time I came close was back in college. I worked for this sort of online journal that hired college students to write articles on pretty much anything. They could choose whatever topic they wanted. I don't even know if those articles are still up, but they were very short. They weren't even really like narrative pieces at all. So that's really the only experience I have with publishing my own writing. And even now, it's hard to think about the fact that those might still be out there. So it's going to be a little bit of a hurdle for me to write something and then potentially submit it somewhere, whether it be for a contest or something where they might publish it. But also, I think since I'm writing a book, I know that's something I will have to get over eventually. Something I don't know if I mentioned in any of my videos yet is that no one really knows that I'm doing this. And I have friends that I trust with this knowledge. I have friends that know that I have written in the past. I have had friends that I've shared some of my work with. But I don't know, something feels sort of scary about the idea of people knowing about it. It's sort of a fear of mine that I'm trying to get over, is being open about the fact that I am a writer and I want to be an author. So I think I'm just going to spend this whole weekend writing a short story. I got some progress done yesterday. So basically, I have two stories. I have a fiction short story and a nonfiction short story. I had only started the nonfiction. The fiction one was just an idea so far. I started to continue the nonfiction one, but something was like really drawing me towards the fiction. So I decided to stop what I was doing and start the fiction short story. Something I noticed yesterday while I was starting was that the hardest part of starting any story is starting it. I spent a lot of time just staring off into space, wondering how I was going to get from point A to point B. I know the beginning and I know the end. I don't know the middle. Luckily, it's a short story. I don't want it to come across like I had a good beginning and a good end, but a lazy middle. So I think I'm gonna go to the library. I need to return some books. Hello. It's the third day, the last day of the weekend to achieve my goal. That's right. I think I mentioned it yesterday, but I had a good beginning and a good end of the story, but I didn't know how to make them meet in the middle, basically. The first day, I wrote the beginning and then got stuck because I didn't know how to keep going. Yesterday, I decided to write the ending. So I have a story that has no middle, but I'm still feeling pretty good because when I ended yesterday with just the beginning and the ending, I have about 850 words, which I think is a good place for the story that I'm writing because I don't want it to be super long, and I think that gives me enough wiggle room in the middle to add what I need to. Today's goal, obviously, is to write the middle of the story, to complete it. I don't know if I want to go out to a coffee shop. I can't write at the library today because it's closed. It's Sunday, and it's already well past the middle of the day. So I don't know. I might stay in. I might go out really quickly, get a coffee, really work through the middle of this story, and then come back home. I don't know, but I will decide what to do, and you will be the first to know. So, exactly what I thought was going to happen happened because I decided to stay home and write. I got distracted. I have not been sitting here this whole time writing. I have been preoccupying myself with staring at my document, typing a few words, and then going to do something else to procrastinate. That's where I'm at right now. I'm having one of those days where every time I read something I've written, I am just feeling really terrible about it. I keep thinking, like, this is probably not going to be good enough to submit anywhere. And that's just so unfair to myself because it's not finished. And obviously, even when I do complete it, I can edit it and add to it or take something away. it just sucks because I spent the past 2 days feeling very confident about what I was writing, and now, for whatever reason, this wave of negativity is just hitting me. I know I've talked about this before, but it's just so difficult to be a creative person wanting to pursue creative projects and not being able to dedicate all of your time to it. And I know I sound like I'm whining, and I think most of you can probably relate to this, and some of you might be thinking, oh my God, get over it. And you're right, I should just get over it, and I should just do the things that I want to do. Let me know if you feel this way as well, but sometimes it's just very difficult to get over the fact that this isn't my life fully, and I wish I didn't have to dedicate most of my week to something that only just gives me money. It doesn't fulfill me in any other way. I wish we could all do that, but anyways, I'm going to stop complaining and I'm going to write, because that's what I want to do right now. So after I whined to you all, I sucked it up and I started writing again. It was like night and day difference. Sort of scolded myself for complaining, and I started writing, and it all just flowed so effortlessly. If you are a writer and you're ever in the middle of writing and you start to think, I'm not good enough, just keep writing. I know everybody says that. It sounds like a cliche at this point, but it's true. Felt bad for myself for a minute, and then I got over it. That feeling will definitely return, but it's just sort of a part of the process, I'm realizing. So I did it. I finished my short story. Let's see how many words. I finished the story at 1,806 words. So that is very good. That is around where I wanted to be. So yeah, I'm very proud of myself. Again, I don't know if I'll submit this. I don't know if I can get over that hurdle yet. I've been working on my book for so long, and obviously the feeling of like finishing chapters or hitting word count goals starts to fade a little bit with me. Like, I don't think it'll be until the book is finished that I feel this sort of excitement about it. This is the first time I've ever completed a short story. It's exciting. It's also just proof that this is working. This whole journey that I'm on right now with trying to write more, making these YouTube videos so that it will motivate me to write more, it's all working. I've never been this dedicated to writing, I think. Within like an hour, I went from feeling like I will never be a good writer to feeling very encouraged by having completed this short story. Thanks for spending the weekend with me, guys. And I hope that this helps motivate you if you're a creative person and you've been feeling a little discouraged lately about your own art. I hope that this will help motivate you. I hope that you know that you're not alone when you're thinking, more negatively about your talents. Just know that I am right there with you. It's totally possible for you to push through and to reach your goals. You witnessed it in this video. It literally happened to me. I might be completely embarrassed if this doesn't get accepted anywhere, but that's okay, because I'm going to remember this feeling that I'm feeling right now. I choose to remember that instead of rejection. I'll have this video to look back on if it gets rejected. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe. I plan on making more writing content, of course. Also, please comment. I'm very interested in seeing how people get over these sort of creative hurdles, whether it be writer's block or just fears in general of like submitting your work, letting other people read it. I'm really working on that, so I would love to hear if anybody has any advice on how they get over that. Do you just do like I did in this video and whine about it for a bit and then get over it? Or do you have more, perhaps less self deprecating ways of getting over it? Let me know. You are in my pantry right now, so I'm gonna close it now. Goodbye.